सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ श्री गणेशाय नमः। ॐ श्री सरस्वत्यै नमः। ॐ श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पाद शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरं रामाय रामभद्राय रामचन्द्राय वेधसे रघुनाथाय नाथाय सीतायाः पतये नमः। शुकासारिके पूर्णवैराग्यजाचे वसिष्ठापरिज्ञानयोगेश्वराचे कवी वाल्मिका सारिखा मान्य ऐसा नमस्कार माझा तया रामदासा। गणाधीश जो ईश सर्वा गुणांचा मुळारंभ आरंभ तो निर्गुणाचा नमो शारदा मूळ चत्वार वाचा गमू पंथ आनंत या राघवाचा। जय जय रघुवीर समर्थ। So we saw in the last session that Samarth Ramdas Swami, after having emphasized upon enquiry or viveka, vichara, explains to us what kind of viveka we should do or what is the kind of inquiry we must undertake. And in order to help us in doing this viveka or vichara, he says, one very simple logic you apply. Dise lochani te nase kalpakodi. Whatever you see is not going to remain eternally. Whatever you see is ephemeral, it is perishable. Akasmata akarale kalamodi. Time is such that suddenly it will destroy whatever has taken form. So whatever you see with form is going to be destroyed. This includes your own body, the entire world that you perceive, even the form of the Lord that you worship. It is a form, it will get destroyed. Pude sarva jaila kahi na rahe. At the end, none of this will remain. Therefore, oh my mind, seek that infinite reality which will never perish. How? Because it cannot perish. There is nothing in the world that can destroy this supreme reality. Phutena, tutena, chalena, dhalena, sada sanchale, mi panete kalena. It cannot be destroyed, it cannot be broken, it cannot be moved, it cannot be dropped. Nothing can happen with this supreme reality. Sada sanchale, it is ever, stuffed into everything of the world. Me panete kalena, but because of our ego, because of our identification, we don't recognize it. It is present in every single object of the world. Every single object of the world. But because of ego, we look at ourselves as the ego, jiva, and therefore we look at the objects as objects, not as Brahman. But how is that Brahman? It is one. Taya ekarupasi duje na sahe. There is no duality that it can tolerate. It is one reality on which everything, all forms are superimposed. O mind, seek that infinite reality. How is that supreme reality? What is its nature? Nirakara. It is formless. Adhara Brahmadikansa, and it is the substratum of all, including Brahmaji, including the creator. Jaya Sangata Shinali Vedavacha. Expounding whom, talking about whom, even the entire Vedas have become tired. Vedas have spoken of nothing other than that supreme reality. Even they are done, they are tired, but they have not completely explained. Viveke Tadakara ho nirahe. Oh my mind, please do this Viveka and Tadakara ho nirahe. Stay as that Brahman. Become one with that. Manasanta Ananta Shodhunipahe. O mind, seek that infinite reality. How this infinite reality is seen? Jagi Pahata Charma Lakshin Lakshe. If you try to see it with Charma Chakshu, with the physical eyes, you will not be able to see it. Why? Because the only thing that physical eyes can see is the physical world. Then Jnana Chakshu, Jagi Pahata Jnana Chakshi Nirakshe. Possible. One meaning is possible by Jnana Chakshu, not possible by Charma Chakshu, possible by Jnana Chakshu. Another meaning is neither by Charma Chakshu nor by Jnana Chakshu can you see it. Why? Because it is beyond all the knowledge. Jagi Pahata Pahane Jata hai. When you try to see, seeing itself falls off. Seeing itself goes away. What are you going to see? It is not an object which can be perceived. It is very different. That's what he will say in today's verses also. We will see. It's very different. The knowledge of all objects of the world is one category. Knowledge of the self is something very different category. Why? Because in all other kinds of knowledge, you are the knower, there is an object and then there is knowing. In case of self, there is no such triputi. Such three things are not there. That is what this supreme reality is. Jagi Pahata Pahane Jata hai. Where the triputi drops, that is the supreme reality which, oh my mind, you must seek. Santa Ananta Shodhunipaye Mana. That is what he says. Now this formless reality has no color also. Otherwise somebody will say, oh, no form means there is a color. No, there is no color also. When you say form, color is understood. Formless means colorless also. Na se pita, na shweta, na shyam kahi. It is neither yellow, nor white, nor dark, nor black. Na se vyakta, avyakta, na neela nahi. It is neither manifest nor unmanifest. Na neela, it is not even blue. This is interesting why he has put that neela separately. Because generally we show Sri Rama, Sri Krishna as blue, no? It's not even that. It's just a depiction of infinity. Blue is the color of infinity. Blue is the color of infinity means blue is what we think is the color of infinity. Infinity doesn't have any color. When the eyes cannot get anything and the rays of light they return, they show us blue. Therefore, when we can't see farther than anything, we think that it is blue. That's why sky appears to be blue for us. It is not blue, it appears to be blue for us. This supreme reality is not even blue. Manedasa. Now Ramdas Swami says, Vishwasata mukti lahe. You will attain liberation through Vishwasa, through Shraddha. Very beautiful. We saw last time, Shraddha in the faith in the words of the Shastras, in the words of the Guru. With this faith, when we inquire, we get the knowledge which will give us liberation. Very important. Faith and inquiry are not opposed to each other. They go hand in hand. With this Shraddha, it leads to knowledge, it will give mukti, liberation. That is how it is. Now what? He continues. Let us see. Verse 151. Khare shodhita, shodhita, shodhita hai. Mana bodhita, bodhita, bodhita hai. Pari sarvahi sajjana se niyoge. Bara nishchayo pavize sanurage. Jai Jai Raghuveer Samartha. khare, shodhita, shodhita, shodhita hai. That khare is that truth, that supreme reality, shodhita, shodhita. When you keep on searching, shodhita hai, you will find it. Mana bodhita, bodhita, bodhita hai. Oh mind, when you try to understand, you will get it. What do you mean? Abhyasa is essential factor of Jnana Yoga. Abhyasa means repeated practice is called as Abhyasa. Veji, what? Please explain a little bit more. Previous verses explained that when you look at the world, don't look at the perishable things, but look at the substratum which is imperishable. But by doing it once, it will not happen. Okay, today I sat down for analysis or inquiry and I said, okay, the watch is not real because it is seen. Mic, iPad, table, top, whatever I see, everything is perishable. That Brahman is imperishable. Have I realized? It won't happen like that. Abhyasa is required. Shodhita, shodhita, shodhita hai. When you keep on searching, you will find it. Not once. Some people know. Mother tells, hey, Diwali is coming now, we need to clean our house, etc. So, I need to find out that one particular thing. What is it? That light, no, that mala which we put for lighting. Now, when did we use it? Last Diwali. So, it will be somewhere. Go and search. Now, actually, no, children don't want to help mother in Diwali, etc. If they are behaving like that, they must be very bored to help mother, you know. That's the only way they will help mother. So when mother tells them go and search for it, they will just go there and see here, there, not even open anything, just see here, there. No, it is not there. And mother will see, keep on searching, you will find it there. Why? Where will it go? I kept it there in that same box. It will be there in the same box, but you will have to keep looking for it. Shodhita, shodhita, shodhita. Mana bodhita, bodhita, bodhita. If you want to know it, keep practicing that. Abhyasa has to be there. Jnana abhyasa has to be there. Then only we will get it. In Patanjali Yoga Sutra, he again emphasizes on abhyasa a lot. And he gives definition of abhyasa, which is very beautiful. Satu dirgha kala nairantarya satkara asevita dridabhumihi abhyasa. What does he say? He says sahatu, abhyasa tu, dirgha kala, for a long time. Nairantarya, continuously, not just I have been doing sadhana for a long time. Means I started 20 years back. Okay. Then in between 19 years I did not do anything. Last 1 year I started it again. There also last Navratri I started, but then in between there are so many months that came that I didn't do anything. Now this Navratri I have started again. Dirgha kala is there, but Nairantarya is not there. Nairantarya means continuously, regularly. Continuously for a long time. Asevita dridabhumihi. The firm ground that is created through respect, through discipline, through dedication, that is called as abhyasa. In childhood we used to hear, no? Try till you get it. That is what it is. You keep trying, it will come. But when till when should I continue to do? Till you don't get it. No, but what if I do? Don't ask questions. Do it. Shodhita, shodhita, shodhita. Bodhita, bodhita, bodhita. Now, in all these things, what you should do? Pari sarvahi sajjana cheni yoge. Pari, but all these things only when you are yoga. Yoga means having contact with sajjana. Why? Because that satsanga only will keep us motivated to continue abhyasa. Abhyasa is repeated practice, no? If satsanga is not there, we will drop it. Why satsanga we should keep doing? Because then we will keep remembering that, oh, I have to do. Why do you think these classes are every week? So that every week we are reminded we have to do this, we have to do this, this is the purpose of life, this is what we have to do. Otherwise you will also forget, I will also forget. So class is important for you, for me also. Why? This is repetition, this is reminder. We all are in company of sages, saints in this class, isn't it? Their thoughts, Samarth Ramdas Swami's thoughts, for example, now, or other acharyas of Vedanta, their thoughts we are studying. So because of this satsanga, what happens? It gives me motivation and dedication for abhyasa, for practice, for repeated practice. Parisarvahi sajjanacheni yoge, bara nishchayo pavize sanurage. Very beautiful. He says, bara nishchaya, you should have that nishchaya. Nishchaya means what? Firmness. Nishtha. But with this nishtha, pavijay, you will get it sa anurage, when you have it with love. Beautiful thing. So nishchaya or nishtha along with prema or bhakti, that is the way. See what is said. In order to gain the self, we need to practice this knowledge. This knowledge that everything is that one supreme reality, which is the substratum, unchanging, infinite, and everything else that we see with form is mere superimposition, imagination on top of it. This knowledge has to be practiced over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. It will not end. Till we get that realization, it should not stop. So to do this kind of jnana abhyasa, to practice this knowledge, said satsanga is necessary because it will keep me inspired. Now, what other things I must have is nishchaya, determination, and prema, love. Sa anuraga, anuraga means love. Love for the knowledge should be there. Determination means what? Determination means not to stop at any point of time. Oh, I have not got it, no problem, I will get it. But I am not stopping. That is nishchaya. But for that nishchaya also sa anuraga, with love. Why? It is the love which keeps us on the track. Many people ask this question to me in various different ways. You all must have asked this question to me or to anybody else. Viji, we do japa, but mind goes here and there in japa. When we try to meditate also, mind goes here and there. Other thoughts enter, other desires come. Why? What? The main reason is because we don't love it enough. There's only one reason. If we really love something, how we will allow mind to go anywhere else? You please tell. Earlier also I had explained to you, when I am watching some serial, some movie or some sports etc. on TV and I love it, then when somebody comes in between also, I don't move. When somebody is talking to me also, okay. Fine. Hey, listen, what I didn't hear. Why? I love that thing so much that even for a moment I don't want to divert my attention. So in our japa, why our mind doesn't stay there? Because we don't love it. Either we don't love the sadhana of japa or we don't love God enough. Something is wrong, no? That's why Samarth Ramdas Swami says here, nishtha is good, nishchaya is required. Sa anuraga. It should be along with love. Because when that love is there, it's not forced. It is not forced. You will do it. Why? You love it. So abhyasa will get inspiration in satsanga, agreed, but for us to continue, there should be nishchaya and prema. Both should be there. With this, when we seek that supreme reality, we will get it. When he says, shodhita hai, what it also gives is, it gives us a kind of affirmation that if you keep searching for it, you will get it. Some people are there, no? If you try with your whole heart, still you will not get it. Then why should I try with my whole heart? That is not what is said here. It is said, if you try with full heart, do continuously, you will get it. That will only inspire me to do it, isn't it? If I am never going to get it, what is the purpose? Many people, even in Vedanta, there is a group of people who believe that mukti is not possible as long as you are alive. Mukti is concept only after death. Now the question is, if it is only after death, why should I do it now? What will inspire me to do it now? Advaita Vedanta actually says you can get it here and now. And that's why I must get it. If somebody is going to tell me you will get it at some point of time somewhere, then I don't want it. Advaita Vedanta promises liberation here and now. And that's why I want it. I don't want to do something, result which will come later on. No, I want it now. Then that only will inspire me. I am suffering now. When should I be happy? Now. No, you keep on suffering now. You will enjoy later. I want now. And Vedanta says you can get it now. It depends on you now. Don't ask this question, when will I get it? That depends on you. But you can get it. At any moment, at any time, anywhere, you can get it. So, though it is giving me the sadhana, it also gives me affirmation that you will get it. If you have right sadhana, you will get it. That is what he says. Now what he continues further. By what you will not get it and by what you will get it. That's what he explains. Let us see. Verse 152. Bahuta pari kusari tattva jhada pari antari pahi jeto nivada manasara sachar te vegale re samasta madhe ekate agale re. Jai Jai Raghuveer Samartha. Beautiful. He says, Bahutapari Kusari Tattva Jhada. Kusari means expert. An expert can explain about that reality. Tattva Jhada. Tattva means that reality. Jhada means, Jhadne means keep on explaining. Bahutapari means in many ways. Bahutapari. Bahu means many. An expert may be able to expound on this supreme reality in many ways. Pari, but antari pahijeto nivada. He says what you must have is that nivada. Nivada means clarity should be there inside. Outside you may explain about the supreme reality like, I know. What do you want to know? Okay. Which text you want to study? I will teach. Prakana Grantha, no problem. Bhagavad Gita, no problem. Upanishads, no problem. Brahma Sutra, no problem. Saints literature, no problem. I will explain. He says, that is all good. Nobody is saying anything. He says, but what is necessary is antari nivada, is clarity inside. Have you got experience of it? If that experience is not there, then outside things are of not much use. Shankaracharya ji says in Viveka Chudamani, Vag Vaikhari Shabda Jhari Shastra Vyakhyana Kaushalam Vaidushyam Vidusham Tadvat Bhuktaye Natu Muktaye. He says, Vag Vaikhari, you have a flowing speech. Shabda Jhari, words are just, pouring out. Shastra Vyakhyana Kaushalam, and you have learnt exact way of explaining Shastra. Vaidushyam Vidusham Tadvat, like you have expertise and, in all kinds of Shastras and Kalas. He says all that is for bhuktaye, all that is for eating, natu muktaye, not for liberation. In Vivekachudamani itself, he says tantri vadana kaushalam. He gives example of a sitar player. He says somebody who plays sitar, if he plays sitar, very beautifully, that is for manoranjana, that is for entertainment of the people. It is not for realizing the self. Isn't it? So just as a person can move his fingers over that string instrument expertly, you can move your speech expertly and explain Shastra. But if the clarity has not come within, it is of no use. Therefore, in our scriptures, when Guru and Guru Lakshana is explained, who is a Guru? We say Shrotriya Brahmanistha. One who has knowledge of Shastras, agreed, but also should be Brahmanistha, should be realized. Why? He himself should have experienced it. Otherwise, those are just mere words. They are not coming from his experience. See, we call great saints like Swami Vivekananda or Pujya Gurudev or Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, Raman Maharshi, and all these people, we call them realized masters, no? And therefore, if they have said something, we will try to understand what do they mean by it. We will never say, no, this must be wrong. They must have said it by mistake. No, they will not make mistakes. Why? It is coming from deep experience. So we might have to go into deeper meaning of it to understand what do they mean by that. Why? There is experience of Brahman. And that is why when Gurudev used to sit and explain, everybody, now we can't even imagine. We have 100, 400, 500 people in front of us. To capture their attention is so difficult. Gurudev used to speak in front of 10,000, 20,000 people. His Jnana Yajnas used to happen on Chaupati. On the seashore. Have you heard of spiritual discourses on the seashore? And he did that 50, 60, 70 years back. Imagine such a huge pandal on the seashore and 10,000 people are sitting and listening. How all of their attention was on Gurudev? Because every single word which will come out of his mouth was from the experience of Brahman. It is not just oratory. See, with oratory, no, you can only fool few people. You can't fool everyone. If it does not come from the experience, no, how so many people will have that attention? By God's grace, we listened to Gurudev and we came to this path. Otherwise, there are so many experts in speaking, nowadays also, they are very famous. But you can't listen to them for 1 hour. That is the problem. You watch 5-minute video, okay. You watch 1 minute reel, okay. You can't listen to them for 1 hour. Why? Because it is only speech which is an expert. Words are very perfectly chosen. Humor is there, this is there, that is there. But it is not coming from their heart, it is not coming from their experience. Why every single word that Gurudev spoke or wrote touches our heart? Because it is coming from his heart. Why such great saint Samarth Ramdas Swami etc. wrote something so many years back, but still we are listening and understanding because it is coming from their experience of Brahman. So he says here, you may be very good in Tattva Jhada, you may be very good in speak about Tattva reality etc. In Marathi, you see, you can't explain. Only those people who are Marathi speaking will understand what Jhadne means. I gave nicely big explanations. We used to do in our exam papers. Question is given. We don't know the answer. But we have understood the meaning of one word in the question. Now that one word we are going to elaborate and write 10-15 lines about it. Isn't it? That is called as Jhadni. You keep on going about it. Have you understood the main? Pari antari pahize to nivada. Inside in your heart, have you got that clarity? Have you got that clear-cut experience? Now what is he doing here? He is making us focused. Samarth Ramdas Swami is telling, don't do Jnana Abhyasa to gain mastery over words. No. Do jnana abhyasa so that you can get experience. Purpose of study of scriptures is not to become expert in scriptures and so that I can speak about scriptures. No. You should study scripture so that I get that experience. That's the purpose. Manasara sachara te vegale re. Mind, this sara, this essence which is sachara. Sachara means it is stuffed in everything. It is there, available in every single object. Te vegale re, it is different. Samasta madhe ekate agale re. It looks to be part of samasta. Samasta means everything, totality. But it is agale. Agale means it is unique thing only. It is something very different. Earlier also we were seeing, no, it is very different. Self-knowledge is very different from knowledge of any object. It is very different. Though you may say that through every single object you can reach the self, but self that you want to reach, the reality that you want to reach is very different from all the objects. It may look like it is part of the whole thing, but it is very, very, very different. It's a different kind of thing that is required. Different skill. And because the reality is different, the knowledge of reality also has to be gained in a different way. It is not how we gain knowledge of all other things. You see, how do you study mathematics? How do you study economics? How do you study history? How do you study music? Learn music, for example. Learn some arts. All these things also, there is a technique. But the technique is mainly focused on abhyasa, repetition. The repetition is not culminating in any experience. Isn't it? Here, that is not the case. Repetition is not sufficient. It has to culminate in an experience. Therefore, it is said here, it looks to be the part of the world, but it is very distinct. It is very different, unique. This reality is like that. Nothing of the world is of that nature. Only that reality is vilakshana, ascharya. That is how it is. It is not really one of many. It only appears to be one of many. It itself appears to be many also. But it is one without any, without any many. Nothing is there. It is only one. That is what that reality is. That is what it is. And it is different from the worldly science. That's what he says. Let us see further. It is neither this nor that. That's what he says. Verse 153. नभे पिंडज्ञाने नभे तत्वज्ञाने समाधानकाहि नभे तानमाने नभे योगयागे नभे भोगत्यागे समाधानते सज्जनाचे नियोगे. जय जय रघुवीर समर्थ. He says nave pinda jnane. By pinda jnana you will not gain reality. Pinda means body. Pinda jnana means knowledge of the body. Means knowledge of the physical world. Knowledge of physics, chemistry, biology, mathematics. By that knowledge you will not get reality. Veggie, you see, I think I have studied graduation. If I do post graduation and then get PhD, no, I will get reality. By that you will not get reality. You can do that. Nobody is saying no, but by that you will not get reality. Those people who have got reality probably did not ever go to school also. Many of them. So it is not by any degree. It is not by any knowledge of this science or that science. Then what should I do? Nave Tattvajnana. Should I go for Nave Tattvajnani? Nave Pindajnane, Nave Tattvajnana means what? Tattvajnana, knowledge of Tattva, reality. Spiritual knowledge. Even by that you will not get it. Veji, what is this? What it means is it is beyond all knowledge. Whether it is secular knowledge or spiritual knowledge, it is beyond both. It is the self. There are more chances of you coming to the self through spiritual knowledge. Agreed, but spiritual knowledge by itself will not take you there. Samadhana kahi nave. You will not get that contentment, samadhana, peace. Tanamane. Tanamana. Tanamana means all kinds of arts. Tanas, etc. are there, no, in music. If you know Tana, that is called Tana. In music, in Sangeet. If you know music, if you know some arts, painting, this, that, not by that also. Nave yoga yage, nave bhoga tyage. Not by yoga yaga. Yoga, yaga, etc. These are the different means for doing dharma. Bhoga tyaga, or you come to spiritual path and you tyaga means renounce bhoga means pleasures. By performing duties or by giving up pleasures also, it is not attained. Samadhanate sajjanacheni yoge. How will you get that contentment? By satsanga. Sajjanacheni yoge. By satsanga only you will get it. Now, please understand few things, okay, here. When it is said, nave pindajnane, nave tattvajnane, nave tanamane, nave yogayage, nave bhogatyage. 5 things you cannot get it by, but you will get it by satsanga. When it is said like this, we must understand that first 5 things which are negated can also give us self-knowledge if we do satsanga. That is the meaning. The worldly knowledge can also lead to self. Spiritual knowledge can also lead to self. Music and all other arts can also lead to self. Yoga, yaga, etc. can also lead to self. Bhoga, tyaga also can lead to self. If there is satsanga and if we understand how to put everything as a means to achieve that self. That is the meaning. Don't take it literally saying that, oh, he has said by yoga, yaga, etc. it's not happening. By bhoga, tyaga, so I should not do tyaga of any bhoga. So I should not give up any pleasure. So, masti mein raho, mauj mein raho, why unnecessarily? See, this is what is the most risky thing when we go by just the words of a master without understanding the context behind it. I listen to many, great people, let us say, who have been in the last century, and their words, and the followers take it in such a negative way, and I don't know what all things they do. And that's why Shastras advise the masters not to speak anything much. Why? Because you don't know how the idiots will take it. So many great people who have lived here, but you see their followers, they, in the name of that great person, they do stupid things. Gurudev once, after the class, Gurudev's class used to be like that, no? He used to blast and used to speak so beautifully, and then everybody was in that zone of listening to him. After that, he went for Bhiksha in some house, and all youngsters were there around him sitting, and he finished dinner and he sat, and that host, whoever was there, brought coffee for him. And Gurudev, being South Indian, he loved coffee, filter coffee, and then he had, who says there is no joy in coffee? Just half an hour back, he was the same person who was saying there is no joy in the object. Objects do not have any joy. And here he is saying, who says there is no joy in coffee? And everybody was just looking, what happened just now? We listened so much and we almost got convinced, and now you are saying like this. Then he waited. As he was walking to his room, he said, but it is only temporary. And he walked. Now imagine if somebody just takes this incidents out of the whole teaching of Gurudev and says that Gurudev said, who says there is no joy in coffee? Therefore, Gurudev said there is joy in coffee. Therefore, I am going to have coffee now every day, 3 times, 4 times a day. I want coffee. That is not what the great master is telling. Samarth Ramdas Swami says, no bhoga tyage, no yoga yagi. Therefore, I am not going to do any yaga. No need of bhoga tyaga also. Enjoy. Where Samarth Ramdas Swami has said that enjoy life like this? You waste your time. So many verses he kept on saying, don't waste your time in enjoying the small pleasures of the world. Now you take that sentence out of context of the whole teaching. How will it work? It will not work. It's not right. So when it is said like this, we must understand what is the context. Context, he is trying to give importance to satsanga. And therefore he says by satsanga only you will get that contentment. Samadhanate sajjanache niyoge. Why? In Ramacharya Manas, Tulsidas ji says, Binu satsanga viveka hoi. Ram kripa binu sulabha na soi. Binu satsang, without satsanga, you will not have that inquiring mind. Viveka will not come. And without viveka, this pinda jnana, tattva jnana, tana mana, yoga yaga, bhoga tyaga, how all these things will sit in correct context? All these things by themselves are incapable of giving self-knowledge, but they all can become means in achieving self-knowledge only when they are put in the right context. Who will give you this right context? Santa, saints. Therefore, satsanga is must. This is the point that he is trying to explain. If we take wrong understanding from it and say that bhoga tyaga will not give it, Upanishad, it will go opposite to that. Upanishad says by tyaga you will get it. Tyagena eke amritatva manashu. It says that. But the point here is, if you don't have satsang, you will not understand do tyaga of what? Do yoga yaga in what way? Use arts, tanamana for what? Pinda jnana, tattva jnana, how to use? How will we know all these things unless there is satsanga, unless there is guru explaining? That is the point that he is trying to say. Without satsanga, if you try to do all other things, bhuktaye na tu muktaye, they will help you in feeding your belly, but they will not help you in liberation. Every single vocation of life can become a means to attain Supreme Self. Every single action, every single vocation. But the only thing that is required to have that right perspective and understanding, which we will get only through satsanga, only from Guru. So with that, whatever else we will do, it will work. Without that, whatever we will do, it will not work. That's the point. That is the point. With that, do whatever, it will work. Without that, do whatever, it will not work. That's why he is explaining and saying satsanga is most important. That is what it is. He explains it further. Very beautiful verse. Verse number 154, you see. Mahavakya tattvadike panchikarne khune pavize santa sange vivarne dvitiye se sanketa jo davijeto taya sanduni chandrama bhavijeto jai jai Raghuvir Samartha. Pure Vedanta. He says Mahavakya. Scriptures are explaining Mahavakya. Mahavakya are what? Mahavakya, Gurudev used to say, identity revealing statements. Mahavakya are not big statements. Maha means great or big. Vakya means statements. Big statements. No, Mahavakya are very small statements. Tattvamasi, Pradnyanam Brahma, Am Brahmasmi, Ayam Atma Brahma. Very small sentences are there. Tattvamasi, over. Why it is called as Mahavakya? Because it shows oneness between the individual and Supreme. These Mahavakyas in the scriptures, Tattva Adike, the explanations of Tattva, etc. 25 Tattvas, 25 principles are there, in what order they are born, this kind of creation theory, etc. Scriptures will explain. Panchikarane, they will also explain Panchikarana. Panchikarana, Vedanta, you know. 5 elements, they divide themselves and become 5 gross elements. Pentamerous, self-division and mutual combination. That's what is called as Panchikarana. 5-way, they divide themselves. So each one divides itself into 5 parts. 1/2 part and another part into 4 parts. And then, mutual combination happens and that's how they become gross. All these explanations, he says, Santa Sange Vivarne Khune Pavije. All these will make sense when they are explained by saint. Santa Sange Vivarne Khune Pavije. They will use all these as a khuna. Khuna means khun means what? Indication. Indicator. Khun means. So all these explanations which appear in scriptures, I must study. But as what? As an indicator to that Supreme. Saints are explaining all these things because through these they are trying to show you the self. Through these explanations they are trying to show the reality. Like what? He gives example. Dvitiyesi sanketa jo davijeto. Dvitiya here means Dvitiya Chandra. This is a classic example of Vedanta. It's called as Shakha Chandra Nyaya. What? The Dvitiya Chandra is supposed to be very thin, no? Crescent moon. It's very thin. Now sometimes in the sky, we don't find where is the moon. Dvitiya, you can't find. So somebody who sees that Dvitiya Chandra, he shows that Dvitiya Chandra through a shakha, through a branch of a tree. Tree is very close by, there is a branch. Then you say, hey, can you see that branch? Just see, just above that one branch. Can you see? That is the moon. So now what has happened? This shakha branch has become sanketa, khun. It has become an indicator to show Dvitiya Chandra. Now when a person sees through the branch, it tries to see the moon, but to see the moon, he gives up the branch. Imagine if somebody keeps on looking at branch. Can you see branch? I can see branch. Can you see one? No, I can't see. Why? I am seeing branch. Arey, now leave the branch. Now go little above branch and see that. So through the explanation, the saints are trying to point out Brahman to us. Without that explanation, Brahman cannot be pointed. But we have to give up that explanation and catch Brahman. Both these things are important. These small children, no? When you want to show them something, you show them with finger. Branch, etc. They don't understand. Isn't it? See that, can you see that? Now many times, no, these small children, they don't look at that. They keep on looking at your finger. Have you seen? Isn't it? Now they keep on looking, what, that. Arey, not the, then we move their face. Arey, not there. That, what I am pointing at, see there. Saints are trying to point out to that Brahman through these explanations. Mahavakya, Tattvadika, Panchikarana, all these explanations, why are they required? Because they are used as pointers to that supreme reality. And if these pointers are not explained by a saint, then we will think that this is the main thing. Therefore, we will become master of this. Mahavakya, Tattvadika, Panchikarana. I have become expert. So what have you become expert in? Expert in knowledge of branch. Harry, but what about the knowledge of the moon? Branch was shown to you to see the moon. Shastras are given to us to see the self. And to see the self, at one point of time, we will have to drop the Shastras also. We will have to give up branch in order to see the moon. Yes, moon can be pointed out only through the branch. Agreed. But once moon is understood, branch has to be dropped. Saints are showing us that supreme reality through these explanations of scriptures. Many points are there in this small verse. It gives the purpose of scriptures. Scriptures are pointers. Gurudev used to say scripture is like a mirror. Scripture a mirror, he used to say. Why? Because scriptures will help you to realize your own self. Don't hold on to mirror. You turn within, go to self. That is what is important. So the role of scriptures is clear. Role of Guru also becomes clear in this. Unless Guru explains the scriptures, we will not get the point. Otherwise, we will be caught up in the words of the scriptures. We will not see the pointed. We will keep running over the pointer. We will keep analyzing pointer. No, what is the pointed? So importance of Guru also is explained. And also it is explained when we have to give up this pointer and go to that pointed. Everything is explained in this. Dvitiyesi sanketa jo davijeto taya sanduni. You have to give up that branch. Chandrama bhavijeto if you want to realize the moon. That is what is important. And that reality you can see anywhere. That's what he says in the next verse. Let us see. Verse 155. दिसे ना जनी तेची शोधू निपाहे बरे पाहता गुजते थेची आहे करी घेऊ जाता कदा आढळेना जनी सर्व कोंदाटले ते कळेना. जय जय रघुवीर समर्थ. दिसेना जनी तेची शोधू निपाहे. He said जनी in the world. Disena, what you do not see, techi shodhu nipahe. Search for that only. What you see, what is available, don't pay more attention to that. What is not seen, you try to see that. Bare pahata, and if you see carefully, guzate techi aahe. The trick is there itself, or the reality is there itself. It is right there. So when you look at something, don't look at what is obvious. Go to that which is not seen. Beautiful. This is true on so many levels. These police officers and these detective agents, etc. They will also give the same thing. Don't see what is obvious. Go past that obvious and try to see something which is not seen by all other people. Vedanta is telling, go still deeper. Go and find the ultimate truth. Disena jani techi shodhu nipahe. What is not seen, seek that. Bare pahata guza tete chahe. Why? Because the best thing is that the reality lies right there. Where you are seeing, that is where reality is. Kari gheu jata kada adalena. But if you try to capture it, if you try to hold it in your hand, kara means hand. Kari gheu jata, if you try to take it in hand, kada adalena, you will not get it. Means what? It is not an object which can be captured. It is not a physical thing, gross, nor is it any concept which is understood, which is captured by mind or intellect. If you try to capture it with hand, if you try to capture it with your instruments, you will not get it. Jani sarva kondatalete kalena. It is stuffed in everything of the world, but still it is not understood. At any place you will get it. Don't try to capture it. Try to see it as your own self. If you try to look at it as an object, you will not get it. It is not an object which can be captured. So when you look in the world, seek that which is not seen. Very unusual thing. See the obvious. That's a simple thing. What is right in front of you, see that. No. See that which is not obvious, but which is essential. Why? Because in every single object that reality is there. Is actually any knowledge can take us to self. Physics, chemistry, mathematics, biology, any arts, anything can take us to the self. Why? Because it is the reality of everything. Suppose let us say I am a botanist. So as a botanist, what do? I try to understand plants, flowers, fruits, botany, no? You go deeper into that same knowledge, it will end with self-knowledge. Self-knowledge is the basis of all kinds of knowledge. You say, no, knowledge, it's arts, music. Oh, go deeper into music, you will come to same self. Go deeper into any kind of knowledge. That's why, see, our ancestors were so clever. In India, in Indian culture, both are called as Vidya. Kala also was part of Vidya only. Isn't it? We may say 64 arts and 14 knowledges, but they were all part of one thing only. Gurukul used to teach them everything. Why? Because whether it is Vidya or Kala, both will lead to self. Both can lead to self. Whether they will lead to self or not depends on you, the one who is seeking it. But they can. Why? Because the best thing about it is that reality is there in everything. The only thing that is required is you go beyond. You become an engineer, mechanical engineer. You try to understand machines. Go deeper. You will come to self. Physicist, chemist, biologist, whatever knowledge, mathematics, economics, any kind of knowledge, it can take us to self. The only thing that we have to do is, through satsang, we have to shift our attention. Shift our attention from that which is ephemeral, which is impermanent, which is changing, which is with form, to that which is eternal. The moment we shift it, everything is Brahman. I tell you, life will become so easy. Even the so-called songs that you don't like, you will start liking it. Why? Finally, it is Brahman only. Every sound is Brahman. Now we can say, oh no, I should only listen to religious songs and devotional songs, and what is this? These are movies. And every sound is Brahman only. Or Swamiji Purushottam used to say, all movie songs are actually beautiful if you sing it for God. You say it depends on for whom you are singing. You are singing for some person, then it will become pathetic because your love is directed towards something lower. The same love you direct towards higher, every song is beautiful. Every art is beautiful. Every knowledge is beautiful. Every branch of knowledge will become beautiful. Why? Because all of them have essentially the main substratum. They all are talking about that one Supreme Brahman. Please understand. Because it is like this, therefore, now Vedji said, I am going to listen to Hindi songs. No, that is not what I am saying. That is not what is said. Don't catch the wrong thing and take it out of context and say that yes, because Vedji said, now I am going to listen to any songs. Why should I listen to... No. That's not what I am saying. I am saying reach the state where it does not matter. That is the point he is trying to explain. Okay. Now he says, if anyone thinks that they have got it, he has understood it, then such a person is the greatest fool. Upanishads are mild. Saints and masters are harsh. That's the only difference. Upanishads will say, whoever thinks that he has got it, has not got it. That's how Upanishads will say. That's how scriptures will say. Saints will say, whoever thinks he has got it is a fool, is an idiot. Same thing only they are telling, but they are straightforward. They are not scared of anybody. That is what he will say. We will see in the next session. Sufficient for today. ओम पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ओम शांति शांति शांति। हरि ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरि ओम।